Aziz, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Hear the song? I swear, I just started. It's the first song to play. It's just starting. Who is that? It's Glenn Washington. Victory. Anyway, we all know this sign. The dollar bill sign. I learned about the dollar bill sign being of other value in Germany. And I can't find that material anymore, but it had to do with Constantine the Great. Which is also compared, Constantine the Great is also compared to Akhenaten of Egypt, is what I remember reading, and saying it almost was going as far as saying that Constantine the Great was never lived, that it's a total fabrication. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. They probably just make up stuff and change the names, and I wouldn't doubt it at all, actually. I wouldn't put it past them. I wish I had that material now. I truly took it all for granted. But at least to some degree I remembered some of it, and hopefully I'm divulging it in the right way. But the dollar bill sign, if you ever seen it before, obviously here in America, you usually see it like this. Sometimes you see it like this. It's mostly like this though. And what this is, it's literally Jesus Salvador. Jesus, not Jesus, but Jesus, Jesus, or I kind of tend to pronounce it in the way the Germans would pronounce it, Jesus. And that's where I got my teaching, really, or that's where I learned it from. But it's just the I and the S. It's the I and the S, in short. See? It's the dollar bill sign. You know, dollar. Money. Yeah, anyway, what I understood was that I thought I even remember seeing a picture, or a theme of Constantine, or not a theme, what am I trying to say, a portrait of some kind of supposedly of Constantine the Great, and this symbol was in it, and it's the mark of Christ. It's probably usually surrounded by, you might see it like this sometimes and not even realize you're looking at it. You see it a lot in, well, no, what am I saying? I see it a lot. You anyway, I should say I see it a lot. The symbol I remember seeing, well, the depiction was an I, an S, and with this like sundial around it, and it meant Jesus Salvador. It's ironic, I think. It's not ironic. What am I saying? It's not by chance that you're buying and selling in the name of Christ, in the name of Christ. And understand something. Truly understand this. This was put forth to me when I came across it. I'm not came across when I happened to be into, looking at all this stuff. This man told me that I'd met when I was in Germany that and not just, he didn't just tell me it, also I saw it in a documentary also that was saying the same thing, that when someone like this, Jesus, if he was nobody, if he was just, if he was just, they could totally just take it out of history. They could have totally written it out, wrote it out. And for some reason they didn't. They didn't write him out. They wrote out a lot of stuff of history, but they didn't write him out. And this has to do with this, probably more of the spirit, that it's not about just writing them out, because maybe you can't. Maybe something else would happen. But it just may literally be about, I don't even know how to say that. All right, let me just take it a different direction then, because I don't want to get stuck on it. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm no big teacher. I'm not even a teacher at all in that sense, but just divulging information I have. Basically, the dollar bill sign is the mark of Constantine the Great, and Constantine the Great, I just came across information saying that he never existed. That he's actually, it's actually the story of Akhenaten of Egypt, concerning his 6 daughters, and again, if you don't know what Akhenaten is, he was the father of King Tutankhamun and the husband of Nefertiti's. And I'm starting to think maybe this symbol maybe have come from there more than likely, because I had learned that the word dollar itself is actually an Aramaic word, is what I came to understand, and I can't find that information anymore. But if that's true, that means the dollar bill. It was also said that the H and the S is also Haile Selassie. It's also the 7 points, or the 7 seals, something about 1, 2. Oh wait, somewhere where it crosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's supposed to be 7. I don't remember how it was, but some about the 3 points. But it also is, they were saying it was Haile H, and then Selassie I. If that makes any sense. I know I can actually draw, but when I'm trying to hold the camera and draw at the same time and look through the viewfinder, it doesn't. I'm not all that great. But anyway, H and S. Now, I never found out if it was true that the HS is Haile Selassie, but it's ironic because Haile Selassie and Christ they're essentially, it's if you understand history in the way that I understand it, Haile Selassie was compared to, well, actually in a strange way. Check this out. Haile Selassie is the 225th monarchy of Ethiopia, or not monarchy. He's the representation of Christ. It's in a book. I'll show it to you. I'll find the book and show it to you. It's in a book that I got from Ethiopia. But he is supposed to be a representation of the Christ that died on the cross 225 I don't know, generations ago. And the bloodline or the throne was supposed to be kept by a preserver I don't know, maybe of the blood or of some kind. But, you know, if you understand the story of Sheba and Solomon, and I mean, it's deep. So there's a weird possibility. So Haile Selassie also could could be the savior, the Salvador also in that sense, if that makes any sense. But as far as symbols go, let me show you a symbol I just figured out the other day that actually got me. I didn't realize it. I never heard anybody else say it before, talk about it before. But I'm not surprised. And I should have known it all along. And probably someone has talked about it. I just missed it. So Coca-Cola is a good one. If you take the Coca-Cola word name, and this is for people, if you can speak Arabic, if you take it and put it in a mirror and spell it backwards, I believe it says La Mecca, La Muhammad, or La Muhammad, La Mecca. That's deep. I learned this in India. And I told this, you know, it's a funny thing, because if I was a Muslim in the way that they are Muslims, the way they believe in Muslim, they'll kill you for talking about the Prophet Muhammad. You know, you don't talk about the Prophet Muhammad in a bad way, may peace be upon him, in a bad way. And they like if you ever say Prophet Muhammad, that you must say may peace be upon him afterwards. You say after you say his name. That's how serious they are. But no matter, they're hypocrites also. You know, they have their own hypocritical ways, and it's just interesting. But the point is that I showed a retailer in India this. If you take the word Coca-Cola and turn it around backwards, or I mean, put it in the mirror and read it backwards and see what it says. This is Arabic. This is literally Arabic backwards, which I got to tell you is very, very clever. This symbol is over 100 years old. Who was so clever to write it with a C-O-C-A, C-O-L-A, and for it to be cursive in the way that it's written, but flip it backwards, and it's Arabic, and it's an insult. It's actually an insult to Muslims who are devout Muslims. It literally says La Mecca, La Muhammad. Anyway, I showed it to a retailer in India, you know, one of these, you know, delis, and I thought that when he saw it, I remember his eyes lit up, and he almost got offended. He couldn't believe what he was reading, and I thought the next time I would have came in there, he would have boycotted Coca-Cola, but he didn't. And I thought, wow, you know, if I was a devout Muslim the way they were, I would have gotten rid of it. That's an insult. You're selling this stuff, and some American company or Chinese company is getting money for this stuff. Anyway, can't prove it, but it's the truth. Check it out yourself. Go do your own research. The next one, Pepsi. If you take Pepsi, you may have seen this before. You shouldn't forget it. Turn it upside down, and it says, is dead. And if you remember the old logo, Pepsi, the choice of the new generation, is dead. I-S-D-E-D. Dead. Remember, if you ever saw that Spawn movie, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, isn't that crazy? You think that's by chance? Is dead. The next generation, that's us. But that's not the pulp of it. What's funny was, and if you don't know this one, by the way, this is a good one, the beast symbol. I know everyone's seen this one. Those marks, you know, a cat or anything with 3 claws doesn't strike. When they strike down. It doesn't go across and then down. Well, it's just not, it wouldn't be a natural. The point is, what's pointing out is that these 3 strikes are actually the Hebrew number 6. And what's ironic about that, see, so you're looking at 666. That's what, if any of you remember that. So it's actually the Hebrew number for 6. You would say it Vav or Wah. Wah, 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 or vav, vav, vav. And if that doesn't sound familiar, if that doesn't strike a bell, it's this. W, 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 dot, whatever you want to talk about or see, dot, calm. 666. That's what you're looking at. Vav. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Or vav, vav, vav. V's, W, V's, and that's why you see in places V's and W's, they're the same meaning, the same, well, they're not the same meaning, but they have the same, almost the same sound. And anyway, that's what you're doing every time you on the internet. www or VVV or wah 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 or va 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 666 dot. And ironically, this is a joke by itself, calm. But I'm not gonna get into that but it is the truth. Just put it together. Anyway, Hebrew number 6. See that? But this one surprised me because I didn't see this one coming. Let's see if you can make anything out of this one. This one, everyone knows this one. Guess. That's the actual symbol. I got it off the internet. It's the actual symbol. Guess, USA. Guess what? Why is there a question mark over the triangle? Well, if you're looking at this correctly, what you're looking at is, you're looking at the Star of David, first of all, which isn't in the Bible, by the way, but the Star of David here, let me just do it right. I swear I can draw, but I swear it's weird to draw in the viewfinder. And so this surprised me because I didn't see this one coming. Guess. I want you to guess. Well, I think I guessed it right. Because this is actually this. And maybe someone's pointed this out before, but I've never seen anyone point it out. Now, I'm sure you know how to pronounce that word, that letter. Yeah, Jesus. See? That's what that is. You're looking at the Star of David, the symbol, the feminine, the spirit pointing up, the feminine, the male pointing up, female pointing down. Now, I could actually go on for a while about this, but this YouTuber that I was watching, Enter the Stars, he's got my mind going again on this stuff, and he got it going in the right way because I was becoming stagnant in it and realizing I was going nowhere with it. But now, with all this time that I've got, I'm just realizing a lot of things, and seeing this, I'm saying this is what I mean about the whole idea behind Christ. They wouldn't go this far to disguise his name and discriminate. I mean, and mock him and all this stuff. He must have been a real person who did something. It must have been a real spirit of God of some kind, or he did something. And that's all that should be acknowledged, I guess. But the other day when I was watching this, I watched 3 movies this one day. It was a rainy day, and I ended up watching 3 movies in one day. And in those 3 movies, all I heard was people say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus 1,000,000 times. And I couldn't believe how many times I heard, and just, you know, what people would say again. I'm not a freak or anything like that. If you want to say it, say it. I'm just saying, I heard it so much, I start thinking, like, that must be really true, that this man did something, because they're trying to, every which way they can, they're going to, not mock him. I don't know why I can't think of the words I need to say. But I think you get what I'm getting at with all this. It's real. I mean, again, I was surprised to see that the Guess logo is that. I don't know if anyone ever pointed that out. You just got to rearrange the words. and it'll say Jesus. That's what's crazy about it. I mean, that's clever. That's very clever. They got us. Again, another way that they got us. I don't know what to say. But what's funny is that I plan to do this because the Baj Mahal. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Wanted me to elaborate on the dollar bill sign, and that's where I got it from. I got it from when I was in Germany, and that dollar bill sign meant Yeso Salvador. The I and S, with the I and the S crossed over it, and that Constantine the Great had used it, if he was real, had used it as his shield, as his, to be recognized by. So he thought, I guess he thought also he was a Christ-like figure. I don't know. I'm not sure. No historian. I read the same as everyone else. But anyway, when I was putting this together, it's just by chance that I found a video tonight at the same time. Oh, I wanted to point out one other thing. This symbol you see, the Rastafari, this symbol is wrong. I just want to point out that it would seem like it's a Rastafarian symbol to use to put on you, and you know, really you shouldn't be putting any symbols on. I'm starting to recognize, but this particular symbol is done on purpose. This is made in Japan. Jakul is I think it started in Jamaica or something like that, and it was bought quickly by Japanese or Chinese or somebody, and they market it like crazy. But if you ever look at a cat, how a cat walks with his tail, a cat does not walk with his tail down, let alone walking on its tail. And I came to the conclusion that this is a false symbol. It's supposed to be a symbol of Christ. But they're not doing it right. This is an old motif, is what this is. This is nothing new. It's old. They altered it a little with the there's supposed to be a cross here. And they altered it. And the tail, a real cat, if you watch a cat, your house cat, it doesn't walk with its tail down at all. It always walks with its tail up, and the real motif has its tail up. In case, here, I'll show you. See, this is the real image. This is how it's really supposed to look. Man, I have problems looking through this viewfinder. Anyway, see his tail? See the tail? Tail should be up. No cat walks with his tail down. And this is a false image because through the 90s, you saw this image everywhere. And Rastas, they were wearing them everywhere. I even wore it at one point. I still got images of it around, and I've learned to just get rid of it. This is the last of it, actually. It's old patch. Anyway, just beware that, you know, if you're going to wear these symbols, that they should be correct and know where they come from. If I ever do wear these symbols, I also make sure that the lion has the tail at least going up, because I do believe that spiritually that these images do spark something within those who recognize it, or those who have subtle enough feelings to find whatever it is that they're feeling from these images. They're good images. There's nothing wrong with images. I don't believe you should worship images. But images have signs in them. And I'm going to show you what I mean. This guy on YouTube, I just found him. And he's pointing out exactly what I'm just pointing out. And this is by chance. But check this out. Check this out. Yeah. So I'm not promoting this image, by the way. I'm not promoting it. It's not a good image. If you see this image, don't promote it. Don't be a part of it. I'm not showing this because I like it. I'm showing this because it's a disgrace. It's a fabrication. It's not real. The lion would never walk with his tail down like that. And that alone is an insult to the throne. And this throne is within, not without, within you. But that's another story. Anyway, I don't promote it, so we're going to leave it there like that. I don't promote it. But check this out. Check this out. This guy, well, first, hold on a second. This guy's pointing out that, look, they got COVID going on, right? Yeah, check it out. But look who's sitting in the background. They got all the protective. But look he's sitting in the background, like. But that's not what I want to get. Check this out. Look at what this guy. I would have never have thought of this. Now, Corona, the 3 words, the 3 letters add up to 6, but every letter has an equivalent of a number. Like A is number 1, B is number 2. You get it. But he's pointing out it adds up to 666. And I'm like, wow, I never would have thought it. But look how far it goes. Look how far he took it. He took it and divided it by 2020. That's where it kind of blew my mind right there. I'm like, wow, this is really gematria. And look what he got at the end of this. And then he points out that, look, Joe Biden texts you. Yo, if they ain't got you, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But if you want to check out this whole video, it's worth it. Because this guy points out a lot of stuff without saying a word. He's just pointing out clips. He didn't say a word, and that's what I guess it comes down to. You ain't got to say a word. Yeah. Check it out.